Greetings, ladies and gentlemen of the internet, Jan Michael here. You know, every single year we get these indie games that make it onto the Game of the Year nominations list. Last year we had Cocoon, the year before that was Vampire Survivors, the year before that was Inscription, and of course the year before that was the big winner Hades, which goes to show that these games do have a chance at winning Game of the Year. Looking at you, Untitled Goose Game. But does Balatro do enough to set itself apart from the competition to give it an honest chance at taking home the grand prize? Well, let's take a look and find out.
Winning in Balatro is simple. All we have to do is play a flawless 4 of a kind and... Wait, what? It's fine, because with this mad joker, we can go mad with power and increase our multiplier by a gargantuan plus 20 to absolutely smash. Really?
It's easy to look at Balatro from the outside and immediately be hesitant to pick it up. First, if you're not a fan of poker or aren't familiar with the rules, you may be tempted to hold off since it might not appeal to you. Then there's all the new crazy rules on top of what's already an established game, and just seeing a deck of regular cards doesn't always elicit an exciting reaction. I've also explained to people what makes the game so appealing, but it's not always convinced them to give it a try. As such, I think Balatro has an uphill climb for itself, though once and if people give it a try, I can't see anyone disliking what it has to offer. If you've been holding off on Balatro because of everything that I just mentioned, then you need to cut that shit out. Because not only is it a fun and easy game to pick up and play, but it's addicting. Once you know all the intricacies of the game itself, it's the type of experience that'll have you saying, just one more round, just one more round, which is exactly what you want with these types of games. At its most basic, Balatro uses the rules of poker as a base to create its game. And if you don't know anything about poker, like if you don't know the difference between what a flush and a pair is, not to worry, as the game lets you see exactly what these things mean at any point. Each game round has you playing against 3 opponents, 2 basic games and 1 that has a special rule to it. The goal is to get your score above the predetermined amount presented to you. It's simple enough at first as the score goal is low, but as a full game has you going through multiple rounds of 3, the score starts to increase until you're left wondering how you can even achieve such a feat in the later rounds. This is where strategy comes into play, because there are so many viable options to get your score past the insane amount that they want you to get in the later levels. There's celestial packs that let you increase the type of hands that you play, like if you play a 2 of a kind or a flush and those are the ones you ranked up, you'll get more points for playing those hands. There are additional cards you can get that make it easier to play the hands that you want. And then there are even like booster packs that will change the attributes of what your cards can do, like giving one a multiplier whenever played, or maybe even holding onto that card will affect all the other ones on field. There are so many things you can bump into, and you can purchase these things at the end of each round. And it is random, so you're never quite sure what it is that you're going to find next, but even when you come across something that you're just not sure about, it's worth dabbling in, because it could be the thing that really increases your multiplier during that run. And all of this is not even mentioning the best part, the Joker cards. The Joker cards are essentially your aces in the hole. Each one has a different function, and there are a ton to encounter and unlock. There are times I thought my run was over, and then I came across a Joker that made, for example, all of my cards act as if they're face cards, which combined with the multiplier to all face cards that I encountered earlier can give the boost that I needed to make it through the next round, and hopefully then I'll encounter something else that will help me rack up my score even further. You can hold up to 5 Joker cards, and if you come across one that you'd rather have on your run, you can always sell one of the ones in your possession to make room. Plus, you get a little bit of money out of it as well. There are so many strategies you can use that it is insane. Like, no 2 runs are the same at all. So even if you lose a round, have to start over, and now you can't use the same strategy as before, it's okay, because I guarantee you're going to come across something else you're going to try out, and then it's going to be the best decision you ever made. And as you learn all the different mechanics, all the different things these jokers can do, there is nothing more satisfying than seeing your multiplier just go sky high, like go into insane numbers that you never thought it was possible to achieve. So you can no doubt tell by my voice that I really enjoyed my time with the game. So what negatives can I say about it? Well, quite honestly, they're things that may not be a problem for others. They're just things that I, as a gamer, don't particularly care much for. For instance, while the core gameplay mechanic is fun as hell, there's not really much you're aiming for in the long run. Getting past certain milestones is cool, and unlocking more jokers is awesome, but that's really the crux of it. It's a game where the reward is to play more of the game, and I've just never been a fan of that type of meta experience. I do need something more to keep me invested. Another thing that ultimately got me to stop playing the game from time to time, and I get this is part of the Balatro experience, but there are times that I'll set up a strategy that I'm fucking crushing everything with. Like, I'll start buying things specifically to boost up this strategy, like let's say the aforementioned face card strategy, only to come across a round that has a specific rule that completely fucks me over. As I mentioned, each game of Balatro, you're playing 3 rounds, 2 regular, and then 1 with a special rule, and you just keep going on and on until you hit the very end. Now, these special rules are just kind of random things that you have to kind of get past. Things such as maybe the first hand that you get is all face down, or maybe you can only use a specific hand each round, like you can only do 2 of a kind if that's the first thing you played, and that's how you have to beat that round with. So just little challenges that you have to overcome. But let's say I'm putting my strategy in this face thing where I'm like crushing the competition. All of a sudden, I come across a rule where it says, hey, guess what? All face cards, you don't get anything out of it. And because now I built up my deck to be all face cards, or all of them are going to be played as face cards, I'm essentially making 0 points every single hand, and I can do nothing about it. And I swear, I don't know if this part is random or if it sees what you're trying to do and specifically sets these barriers up, but there are times I'm crushing it and then this rule pops up that completely fucks over my strategy, only for then to maybe I'll do a completely different strategy and that same one from last time just doesn't pop up whatsoever. Again, I get it. This is part of the whole experience. You're supposed to kind of pivot and adapt to the challenge, but it pissed me off so much. I was like, fuck it. Like, I stopped playing because it pissed me off so much. So there's that for you. Lastly of all, look, no matter how addicting these type of experiences are, I personally have yet to come across one that has me completely sucked into the point that I can't put the thing down. Heck, I just told you a minute ago I fucking rage quit and stopped playing it. So I get this is more maybe of a me thing, but I gotta give the review based on the experience that I had with the title. And my experience was that once I was done, I was done. I didn't feel compelled to return. I never got that itch again. It's essentially at this point in time just collecting dust, and at no point do I feel I'm gonna be going back to it anytime soon. So look, please don't take that to mean that I'm not recommending the game. It's great. There's just so much of the same experience over and over that I can personally take. Being as fair as I can, I still think Balatro is playing a winning hand. And as such, I give the game a 4 out of 5 with a recommendation to play it. You're gonna have fun with this title. Heck, you may even become addicted to it, more so than I did. But if you don't, you'll still find plenty to enjoy here. It's just not something that you'll probably end up playing for the long run.
Like I said, winning in Balatro is simple.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is all I got for today. Now, look, I get that maybe having my own personal bias in the review is unprofessional. Like, I should have kept that shit aside and just focused on the game as is, but like, I gotta be honest to my own personal experience, and comparing this to, let's say, Astro Bot from yesterday, Astro Bot is a game I'm ready to jump into again. Like, I want other people to experience it. I'm gonna have my wife go through it. I want my kid to go through it. I'm ready to see other people experience it. Balatro, I can totally recommend, but I'm not gonna see somebody else play it. I'm not gonna go back and play it. I'm just kind of done with it. So I can't really score them the same, not even close. But again, I'm recommending it. You might have a better experience than I did. You might get addicted. So please try the game out. I still wholeheartedly recommend it. And with that being said, guys, I've still got 3 more games to go through. So maybe tomorrow I'll have something else that I can really get excited about and hype you up about. So until then, everybody, like always, please stay safe out there and have a good one.